have fun with that thing. That's funny. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa.
Take it away, sweet sis. Thank you for everything you do. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so good to be with everybody. This has been like such an awesome huddle call with information. You know, I count it such a privilege. I'm so thankful that we have just the leaders that we do, like Nitsa, Priska. There's so many wonderful leaders, but whenever I look at Nitsa, that person, and she knows this, I've said it a million times, the teaching that I've gotten from her, the mentoring that I've gotten from her, I do absorb it. And the reason why I do, it's not just in my business here and working with my teams and everything. I actually use it. A lot of the information that I learn from her, I use it with my family. I use it in my everyday life. We're home builders in Arkansas, and we've had a business for since year 2000, and I use it in my business. It's amazing to me how building an organization here and building a financial legacy and building my everyday life it's crazy how it all works kind of the same way. Building houses, building my organization, building my financial legacy, building my marriage, building my relationships. It all is kind of the same thing. It's you start, you adjust along the way, and you finish. And you do the best that you can. And every day as you're making steps, you're just trying to be better than you were the day before. In this business, I want to say that Gold Standard Partners, when it came along, it's funny that I'm talking about finishing the month, because when I look at our relationship and our time that we have, and the reason why we are with Gold Standard Partners is because we are finishing what we started. And so whenever I look at that, even that is talking about finishing what we started. My time or my decision, and it's all in what your goals are. It's not what my goals are. It's not what anybody else's goals are. Right now we're looking at you. Like, what are your goals? What are you here for? Is it a me strategy? Is you're not gonna, you have no intention really of earning commission from referring other people, and that's totally cool, and maybe you're here just to connect, to try to connect the dots, to see, what all you can participate in, with this company, because I'm telling you, if that's it, it's a win. It's a win. I mean, that diagram, Nitsa, that was awesome, where you're showing everything that's, that we've got now and what's coming up. Beautiful visual of what we've got going on here. Is it that you're doing a we strategy where you're going to be referring people? I believe that probably the majority of people that are on this call and you're still here, that's you. And, we've got a system for that. Nitsa has a wonderful training of opening the month and closing the month. But you deciding whatever your goals are, there's a huge component here, and that is that you have to decide and you have to take action. There is you developing the skill to be able to close the month is huge in this business. And when you learn how to open it effectively and you realize that opening a month is right after closing a month. So if you close a month strong, then you're going to be opening the month stronger. And there's certain actions that you need to take in order to make sure that you open the month strong. But then you also need to develop the skill of adjusting along the way. Because you can't control people, and this is a people's business. And so who you start off with, a lot of times, they can't even last a whole month. Right? So if you're going to I always say my success does not depend upon whether my people finish, although I want them to finish. It's not as much for them as I want them. I mean, it's not as much for me as it is for them, because I want them to develop a lifestyle and, learn how to finish. Learn how to finish. And that training, like, I'm not going to go through, there's certain things, like I'll just touch on what we do on my team. I work closely with my leaders, especially right now, this time of the month, because we're getting people over the line, over the line, over the line, over the line. We want people to achieve Rising Block Star. We know what that means. We want people to achieve Block Star and Block Star Supreme, and the infinity pool. That thing is awesome. It's totally awesome. And you saw how much you get paid. But I look at that, and when I say that I'm not in it for the money, even though the money's awesome, y'all, it's awesome. But I see such development when I look at someone and I want them to be Rising Block Star and get to Block Star Supreme, or in the infinity pool. You know what I think about? Honestly, you know what I think about? I think about the development that they're going to get, the professional development that they're going to get, being able to be on the leadership calls that we're able to attend because we've achieved those ranks. Because that right there is what has changed my life. It's changed my life. And when I say that I'm not the same person that I was 7 years ago, when I completed my first 90-day run with NITSA, I was not the same person. Even saying that 90 days in, I'm not the same person that I started out being. I'm totally different than whenever I started this whole thing with somebody that really didn't have network marketing experience or this type of business. And yet NITSA saw something in me that she latched onto, and I latched onto her. And it was I believe that she saw that I had a no quit attitude. Let me put this into perspective. First of all, your family is depending on you not to quit. Your team is depending on you not to quit. There's masses of people out there that need what we've got. Passive income, extra income. They need what we have, and y'all, we're bringing it to them. This is the cutting edge. We are on the front end of the wealth transfer. Do you understand that? That's totally awesome. But imagine, a biggest pet peeve of mine is when a home builder decides to start, but he doesn't decide to finish. I can't stand that. Deciding to start, everything is fine. But when they decide they're not going to finish, that neighborhood that we are building in starts looking ugly. And I think about our financial legacy. I think about somebody that they get to retirement age and they can't retire because they quit along the way. Instead of making adjustments and continuing to make sure that they were better the day, the next day, and every day they're better than the day before, along the way they decided to stop. Finishing is so strong. What about a doctor that's doing surgery and he decides, oh, well, I'm just not going to finish this surgery? I mean, look at what kind of effects happen. I don't care if you have one person, or maybe you don't have anyone yet. Some of you that are just starting, so glad that you're with us, by the way. But if you're just starting, maybe you don't have anybody to finish with. So what kind of finishing do you need to do? You need to make that list, and you need to say, okay, and within the next 48 hours, by the time this month ends, I will start April by having my list done and people contacted. Maybe some of you that if you were, you've been with the project for more than a year, maybe you need to contact some people that are on GS Trade, and you need to say, if you've got more than 50,000, G999s, you need to be in the DeFi program. And then, by the way, let me tell you what all is happening in GS Partners. Maybe that's how you need to finish this month, so that you've got some people starting with you April 1. Whatever it is, and we all can be very different in how we finish the month. There's reports, there's incentives that we do, there's rally calls that we do in order to be able to get people over the line. And again, the trainings are awesome that NHTSA does that are there on the GS Partners Facebook group. Okay, the recordings are there. Whatever it is, decide to do it. Decide to do it. And always know, okay, I made a decision that I was going to finish March strong the day that I knew that I was going to start March strong. I knew that I was going to adjust strong. And I want to develop the skill of getting better. I want April to be better than March. I wanted March to be better than February, and it was. Okay? But along the way, adjusting, because you can't control people. So, when you decide that you're going to start April, decide you're going to finish April, and let that be as strong as your start. When Russ used to coach Caleb, he was a pitcher in baseball, and he would always tell him to start strong, son, start strong. And then if Caleb started, maybe he did a few balls, he did a couple of walks or whatever, I still hear it. Adjust, son. Adjust. You start April, and maybe some of the people that you thought were going to be starting with you, maybe they changed their mind, or maybe somebody tells you no that you really thought that they would, they would think this was the greatest thing that ever was, and they say no. And then maybe they even say that you're crazy. You have to adjust because you've made that commitment that you're going to start and you're going to finish. So along the way, you have to adjust. But he always told Caleb, it really doesn't matter how you start. You definitely want to start strong because that gives you the momentum to end. But it does matter how you finish. Okay? It does matter how you finish. So, as we finish March, I hope that in the next 40 hours or 48 hours, however long we've got, that when you're going over that line, when we move people in the house at the very end of a project, it always gets like we're griping at each other. We're trying to get those people moved in by the time that, the closing date. And it's just like, all of this stuff's got to be done. Russ has been looking at the house, and so he'll say, Queena, can you go and do one final review of the house? Jot down anything that you see, because he knows I've got a detailed eye. So I'll go down and I'll make the list, and he'll go, dadgummit, I missed that. And it's got to be done by the time they close. It's got to be done by the time they close. And we're just used to that. Okay, this is the same thing. We're looking at the reports. We're finding out who's close. Who do we need to get over? Okay, do we need to do a rally call? What do we need to do to get that person over the line? We do not leave anybody. We don't leave anybody. If they're close, we get them over that line. That's what we're doing right now. We're making that list. We're reviewing that list. We're being aware. No matter where you are, no matter how it gets tough this last 48 hours, I hope that you'll hear me saying, finish strong. Maybe you need to go buy your market vouchers. That's what I'm doing. Buy those market vouchers. Set yourself up so that your family will say thank you. Thank you for not quitting. That your team will say thank you for finishing strong. Your future self, most of all, will look back on March 29th, 2021, and hearing this Southern girl from Arkansas saying, finish. You're going to remember it. Your future self is going to remember right now, hearing me say, finish strong. Do not give up. Finish strong. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening, that you have a great finish to March, and that you open April very, very strong. It's time we lock arms, everybody. We've got a world to change. We've got masses that we have to reach and give them a financial hope. Give them a financial hope and bless their families and bless their financial legacies and their lives so that they can end their life financially where they need to. We've got a world to reach, everybody. Let's go do it. Nitsa, I'm going to turn it back over to you, sister.
Woo, Queena, my goodness. Now that was a cute tip from the top. Absolutely amazing. Queena, I've watched you for many years. Well, I've worked with you for many years, but to watch you really come into this level of leadership where, you're training based on experience, not just based on a theory. We have to start, right? We start, we learn. Often, we're teaching our teams what we're learning. So that's part of the process. But to see you do this now at this point, it's absolute art. It is art, and I am so privileged to be here and to see you do that. Strong. Thank you, Miss Queena Milam. Everybody, let's put our fingers on that keyboard right now and hit those plus signs. Let's show some love for Queena and everything that she has brought to us here today. Thank you so much, Queena Milam. Great words to finish us off. So everybody, that is going to be it for tonight's team huddle call. If you've enjoyed this call, let us know. Drop it in the text chat. Let us know that you got value out of the call. Remember, 2 days left. 2 days left. We start strong, we stay strong, and we finish strong, everybody. Let's make it happen. 2 times the legacy points. Go get those market vouchers. Let's get positioned for that community node. Hit those pools. Grab that extra that's out there, everybody. I'll tell you, as Queena said, your future self will be thanking you. Your future self will be thanking you. Remember, next week, we got a pool party on Monday to celebrate, and then Tuesday, back to work with my open of the month call. So everybody, I'll see you back here on the team cuddle. Kind of feels sometimes like a cuddle, doesn't it? The team huddle on Monday. April the 8th. Monday, April the 8th, we're back on with the next team huddle. Thanks so much, everybody. Make it an absolutely better than great end of the month. And remember why you're doing it. Always why you're doing it in the first place. Okay? So make it a better than great one, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.